On the news hour tonight. Bandits gun down policemen at Zamfara checkpoint. As the price of cooking gas continues to soar, households switch to charcoal pots as affordable alternative. Jos-based Nigerians call for peaceful resolution with ECOWAS after lifting of sanctions. On the international scene, hunger grips north of war-torn Gaza amid ongoing truce talks. Hello there, and many thanks for joining us on the News Hour on Trust TV. I'm Sagir Ibrahim. Now the news in detail. In a tragic incident on Sunday, bandits launched an attack on a police checkpoint at Tazame village in Zamfara state, resulting in the death of a policeman and injuries to others. The checkpoint, situated less than a kilometer from Kwatarkwashi, a town adjacent to Gusau, the state capital, was targeted by the assailants. According to multiple sources, the bandits, numbering over 40 and riding motorcycles, descended upon the checkpoint around 4 a.m. on Sunday. Eyewitnesses reported that the bandits set fire to all valuables found at the checkpoint before fleeing the scene. Despite a fierce exchange of gunfire between the bandits and the police, the assailants ultimately overwhelmed the officers and succeeded in setting the checkpoint ablaze. Efforts to contact the Zamfara Police Command's Police Public Relations Officer, ASP Yazid Abubakar, for comment proved futile as calls and text messages went unanswered. Until the cost of living in Nigeria, more tales of lamentations on the economic hardships in Nigeria have continued to pour in from citizens across the country. In Makurdi, the Benue State capital, the cost of water, which is a necessity of life, is trending, with a bag and sachet respectively going beyond the reach of the masses. Trust TV's Jimmy Adzande has more on the detail.
Many of the residents say they did not imagine the Benue State, blessed with the river Benue, will purchase water outrageously at 15 naira per sachet at any time. Just a few days ago, 3 sachets of water were sold for 15 naira by vendors.
Buying a sachet of water for 15 naira is not funny at all. People are not happy buying one sachet of water for 15 naira. I think in this case, we are calling on the government to come and intervene, because I don't know where we are heading to. How can I buy a sachet of water for 15 naira? Even today, I have that money, but releasing it for just pure water's sake, I felt like drinking mineral instead of buying that pure water.
Sachet of one pure water in the market here, we are buying it 15 naira by one. So I don't know. Yesterday we bought it at the rate of 40 naira by one sachet. But today we are buying it 15 naira. I don't know why. Because we are opening up to God. God is intervening our problem. But we are thinking that God will help us. Like government, let us do something. Government should do something, because by the next coming months we don't know how we are going to find our life.
They say government should listen to the cry of Nigerians before things get out of hand.
15 naira one. So it's not good now. Pure water kuma. Where would they say 15 naira, 1 naira? Now pure water na 15 naira. How person go do? Go marijuana push truck 1,000 I buy today for well. I buy am today 1,000 for truck and in a 10 gallon. That is no good. Facebook got everything high because the fuel high, everything high. May they take the men they carry and down, may we not die for Nigeria. Now we get Nigeria. Nigeria will not run for Nigeria now. We'll go after Africa.
Today we are buying a bag of pure water for 500 naira. And we now the seller, we couldn't buy drink water for a living, and we're finding water. Please, you should try and reduce the cost of everything in the country. The fuel is high and we can't go anywhere. The price of things in the market is high. We can't buy anything. We can't feed our children in the house.
Today I buy pure water, 1 sachet of pure water, 15 naira. The bag is 500 naira. It's very bad. And the way things they go now, everything they cost. Before, when they carry 10,000 naira enter market, you will see what you buy. If you carry 10,000 or 20,000 enter market, you will not see what you buy. And I tell them, remember, say, second tenure deal. Because the whole country down now, they don't go see anybody who go vote for them for second tenure. That is my own.
They also said implementation of government policies must be hastened up to address the cost of commodities that have direct bearing on the lives of the masses. Jimmy Adzande, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
The Kogi State chapter of the Association of Table Water Producers, ATWAP, has threatened to suspend production in all water-producing factories in the state due to high cost of production. The state chairman of ATWAP, Ishayin Ayodele Joseph, disclosed this on Sunday in Lokoja. He said with the situation, the association will be forced to introduce new price of sachet water so that the business can survive. Joseph stated that the report reaching him indicated that many pure water producers in the various zones of the association had already shut down their factories due to high cost of materials and other production challenges. He added that with no end in sight, all pure water or PET bottles producers will shut down their factories shortly to enable them to clean their system and change some production lines before the commencement of the new price regime. And still on the cost of living in Nigeria, as the price of cooking gas continues to rise, housewives in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, are switching to charcoal pots as a cheap alternative for cooking. This has led to a higher demand for charcoal, with environmental activists expressing concerns over the likely impact on the environment. Hamid Oyegbade files in this report.
In the last few months, the price of cooking gas has soared across Nigerian cities, with some selling a kilogram for as high as 1,500 naira. Most Nigerians who can no longer afford the high cost of cooking gas have resorted to cooking with charcoal pots. Some residents of Osogbo in Osun State lamented that although the charcoal pot exposed them to health hazards, they have no option but to continue using them because they are the cheaper option for now.
The money then was 300, started going up to 400, 500, 700, but by now it's 1,000 plus if you cannot afford it today. So I've begged my wife to manage it with charcoal so that we cook for by now because we can't afford the gas.
Okay, due to Nigeria economy now, things are very hard for women because most of us are using gas before, but now we have resorted to pots. So even some people are now using firewood, which is very bad for our health because of the smoke.
We are not buying per kg 1,200 naira, and then the next thing for us is to be using charcoal or firewood to make the cooking for our children and our husband at home. And then it has been as you see me, that's already affected my.
An environmental activist, Waheed Saka, said higher demand for charcoal will further compound the global warming crisis as it will lead to deforestation since the production of charcoal requires cutting down and burning trees.
People will always find alternatives to whatever increments that comes with the issue of livelihood. So for me, it is a call for concern for climate change experts and governments that our people are going to the bush to cut tree and use it for charcoal. So it's not sustainable either way. Nigeria must find a way to reduce the cost of gas.
Residents of Osun State are therefore appealing to the federal government to act swiftly to address the economic crisis and hardship in the country. Hamid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Osogbo.
Thanks to Hamid for that report. And also in a stern address, elder statesman and former Nigerian ambassador to Japan, Adamu Aliyu, the Walin Katagum of Bauchi State, has made a compelling call to action, urging the Nigerian government to swiftly address the pressing food crisis plaguing the nation. Speaking to journalists against the backdrop of soaring inflation and escalating costs of goods and services, Ambassador Adamu Aliyu underscores the critical need for immediate intervention and strategic planning to alleviate the hardships faced by Nigerians. Trust TV's Adamu Imam has more.
A revered figure with a storied history in Nigerian business and a prominent role in the education sector, Ambassador Adamu Aliyu voices deep concern over the unjustifiable economic strain gripping the nation. He stresses the imperative for the government to be proactive and responsive in addressing these pressing challenges, lest they provoke widespread public discontent.
You see, so the current government has inherited a very bad situation. But the good thing is that the party running the government today, it is the same party that ran the government of General Buhari for 8 years. So the party and the government, current government, must put heads together to seek opinion from highly knowledgeable people on how to avert a very big disaster of famine or scarcity of foodstuff.
Ambassador Adamu Aliu's resounding message reverberates with urgency and determination, urging the present administration to take decisive action to avert potential unrest and restore hope to the Nigerian people.
There is a high level illiteracy in the north. It is a shame after over 60 years of attaining independence, some people are still not literate enough in the Western education. And the disturbing aspect, some are not even literate in the Arabic scripts and speaking Arabic, the language of the Quran.
In the wake of his impassioned plea, Ambassador Adamu Aliu's call served as a rallying cry for unity and concerted efforts to confront the multifaceted challenges facing Nigeria, underscoring the vital importance of effective governance in meeting the aspiration of the populace. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
To other stories now, at the heart of the Caliphate Nursery and Primary Schools lies the Caliphate Islamia School, a beacon of religious education and spiritual enlightenment. In a momentous occasion, 12 students have emerged triumphant from their rigorous journey of memorizing the Holy Quran. Trust TV correspondent Idris Jibrin brings us the highlights of the 5th graduation ceremony. Take a look.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
These are 12 students of the Caliphate Islamia School in Kano reciting the Holy Quran to mark their graduation ceremony after completing the whole chapters of the Holy Quran.
I'm so happy because I spent almost all my childhood just to achieve this, and alhamdulillah I have get it. Mashallah, I'm so happy. I'm so happy today that I cannot express my joy. I intend to carry it out by going to Tafiz in the morning, continue it during Saturdays and Sundays to continue my education. It will be harder, not be only.
Chairman of the school, Aminu Dangana, says the students have done well and showed commitments towards their studies in the last couple of years. The chairman further calls on the students to see this opportunity as the beginning, not an end, stressing that it's time to still come to school and learn in areas of their religion.
This is the 3rd or 4th time my children are graduating from this Islamia school. So I'm really happy, I'm excited in the sense that this is the only thing that you can give to your children to put them on the right track before they get married, before they go to the whole world to see what they can do, to seize the opportunity. So once you put them on the right track, I think you get full satisfaction.
On his part, the Deputy Speaker of the Kano State House of Assembly, Bello Utukutu, pointed out that the academic journey started 25 years ago and has given birth to thousands of students over the years from the 3 sections, while enjoining the graduating students to be ambassadors of their families and the school. He also urged them to always strive in the quest for continuous learning.
As a lawmaker, I have so many ways to encourage parents. If I make a law to make the education free for children at primary and nursery, even in Islamia school, I think I contributed. If I make a law that will provide enough working material in our educational institution, I contributed. If I make a law in the budgetary allocation to have a very high package, I think I contributed. And apart from that, I also look at my neighbors as mentioned by the ward head, that whenever you have a neighbor who is not a child of that neighbor, is not attending a school, you should try and confirm why and assist to make sure that he goes back to school.
The ceremony saw a presentation of certificates, a copy of the Holy Quran, among other packages, as take-home by the Deputy Speaker, Kano State House of Assembly Bello Butubutu, and several other dignitaries. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
And Nigerian residents across various parts of Plateau State are appealing to Nigeria and Niger to resolve their differences and facilitate their country's return to the economic community of West African states. Recalling ECOWAS's sanctions imposed on the three countries last year due to military coups which spurred the nations to forge a united stance, these Nigerian individuals in Jos expressed dismay over the ongoing rift between ECOWAS and their homeland. Ado Musa has more on their views.
Nigerian residents emphasize that Niger's withdrawal from ECOWAS has adversely impacted on them residing in Jos, the capital of Plateau State, as they share significant cultural and social ties with people particularly from northern Nigeria. While the Nigerian authorities have not yet addressed the lifting of sanctions on border and commercial transactions within the country, residents express appreciation for the gesture. They appeal to both Nigerian and Nigerian authorities to seek common ground and mend the decade-long relationship strained by the recent military coup in their homeland.
Sanda aka hada karfi da karfi aka
with exit of our country from ECOWAS, even though we have yet to see any change with the people we are transacting business with or living with. We are not intimidated or harassed by anyone. Our movement is moving smoothly. We are praying that our country and all other countries that existed ECOWAS should return so as to become stronger as body. There haven't been reports of any problem between us and Nigerians following the exit of our country from ECOWAS, even though we cannot completely rule out that there won't be any difficulty, especially with our movement at the borders. People around the borders are not finding it easy since after the military coup, but we believe that with lifting of the sanctions, things will be easy.
Our country
to exit ECOWAS because we have been together for many years and our relationship has been cordial. So this is a welcome development. We hope that Nigeria and Niger will settle their differences in the nearest future. The recent lifting of sanctions on Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, particularly those concerning borders and commerce, is expected to facilitate smoother transactions between residents of both countries and help facilitate further negotiations between the military leadership and ECOWAS. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
And still on the issues between Niger and the ECOWAS bloc, the Northern Senators Forum has commended the leaders of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, for lifting sanctions imposed on Niger Republic following the July 26, 2023 military takeover. ECOWAS leaders, after a closed-door talks, said they had decided to lift Niger's sanctions, including border closures, the freezing of central bank and state assets, and the suspension of commercial transactions with immediate effect. Northern senators, in a statement, hailed the ECOWAS decision, saying it was a testament to the organization's commitment to regional solidarity, cooperation, and respect for human rights. The lifting of the sanctions, they said, would go a long way in alleviating the suffering of the people of Niger Republic, as well as ensuring the restoration of stability and economic prosperity in the region. The lawmakers therefore urged the government of the military-ruled Niger Republic and its peoples to hasten the process of returning to democratic governance to build a stronger and more prosperous nation. They also advised all regional stakeholders to continue engaging in dialogue and pursuing peaceful solutions to address any remaining concern. And the private residence of the FCT Minister of State, Maria Mahmoud, was on Sunday afternoon completely razed down by fire. Reports suggest that nothing was salvaged from the residence located at number 9 Justice Roselyn Ukeji Close, Asokoro, as response from firefighters was slow to arrive at the location. Though no official statement has been released on the incident, the media aide to the minister, Austin Elemwe, who confirmed the incident, said the cause of the fire is being investigated. You're watching the news hour on Trust TV. Coming up shortly. We'll tell you the story of Abubakar Yusuf, who is defying stereotypes as a physically challenged person. There's and more stories after the break. Join us again. Thanks for staying with the News Hour on Trust TV. A recap of the headlines again. Bandits gunned down policeman at Zamfara checkpoint. Now, as the price of cooking gas continues to soar, households switch to charcoal pots as affordable alternative. And moving on now, we're joined by Ishel Adamu. He is Daily Trust regional correspondent and also regional editor, joining us this evening to discuss the earlier attacks in Zamfara. Good evening, Ishel. Welcome to the News Hour on Trust TV. What developments, what news do you have for us with regards to the issues in Zamfara pertaining to the attacks that happened early this morning and also last night?
Yeah. Of the recent one that has happened at a checkpoint close to the state capital, some residents that I spoke with, especially in the nearby villages, they are complaining that prior to the attack, they have sighted the bandits moving towards the direction of the checkpoints. And the trend in this axis is that any time these bandits are sighted, the resident of that particular village will call the resident of next village so that they can notify them before the arrival of the bandits. That is one aspect of it. Secondly, they have the numbers of most of the security personnel around the area, and they usually notify them. But their complaint is that the response on the part of security agencies is always not forthcoming. They don't respond. They don't call in time. They don't respond. They don't come in time. So that is the main problem the residents are now complaining. They said had it been the security agencies respond in time, this attack could be abated because they notify them prior to the arrival of the bandits at the checkpoints. This is the complaint saying. And again, we have noticed another tactics adopted by the bandits. This is the first time they set fire on a point or scene where they attack. And why the residents are concerned about this new trend is that the bandits for the last 3 months have developed the habit of vandalizing pipelines that is supplying fuel to Gusau. As of yesterday, in one of the villages around called Langalanga, these bandits vandalized one of the pipes. They scooped over 550 liters from the pipe. And one of the bandit leaders combated or hijacked the primary school of that village and converted the office of the headmaster into a store where he kept the fuel he scooped from the pipeline. So the danger is that if the bandits started setting fire on any point or any place they attack, there is every possibility of setting fire on these pipelines, which could be very dangerous to the residents, not only to the residents around, but to the entire state.
All right, Ishel. Then again, any word from the authorities and security agencies, and bearing any last-minute response or reaction from the government and also from security agencies, do you think that the non-response or non-reaction or delayed response of the government and these security agencies is emboldening sort of the activities of these bandits who have unfortunately early this morning overpowered security men deployed to a security post, burnt the checkpoint, made a clear statement? Do you think that the lack of reaction or delayed response from the government and security agencies is emboldening the activities of these bandits?
Certainly it is, because the issue is of two ways. Of course, the security going into the bush to attack or to raid the enclaves of these bandits. This is one side of it. But secondly, these bandits, they also know their ways. So anytime these residents inform the security should have respond in time because they sighted them, they know the direction they are going to, they can communicate to the security. But the delay is always encouraging the bandits to continue with their attacks.
All right, Tisha Adamu, thank you so much for the update on the situation. We will touch base with you subsequently as other events develop, and we do hope that the authorities also keep up and also, address some of these issues to prevent the continuous attacks on these communities. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
And the Nigerian Labour Congress on Sunday alleged that it has uncovered a series of plots being put in place by the federal government to destroy its nationwide protest billed to hold on Tuesday, and Wednesday, February 27th and 28th, respectively. It, however, said despite the plots, it would not back down from the plans to express its displeasure over the hardship currently being experienced by Nigerians over the twin policies of the President Tinubu-led federal government. President of the NLC, Joe Ajaero, while reacting to the inquiry on whether the Congress has shelved its planned protest as advised by the Department of State Services, the DSS, it said there was no justification on ground to heed the advice. Specifically, the Labour leader said it has unmasked one civil society which he described as nebulous as one of the organizations being pushed forward to unleash mayhem on the peaceful protesters nationwide. Ajaero called on the United Nations and African Union to rein in on President Bola Tinubu by calling him to order to avoid him using forces to suppress peaceful protesters, adding that it should be noted that the protest was not about NLC but hungry Nigerians. Also, President Bola Tinubu says machineries have been put in place to bring the menace of fake degrees to an end and make the perpetrators face the full wrath of the law. He stated this in Bauchi State during the combined convocation ceremony of the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University students in Bauchi State. Trust TV's Adamu Imam completes the report.
President Tinubu, who was represented at the occasion by Ochedu James from the Federal Ministry of Education, noted that Nigerian universities has experienced challenges due to frequent industrial actions, while promising to invest more in research and development to encourage competitiveness among its counterparts around the world.
Leading to amazing discoveries have been done by Nigerian researchers. Your effort will not go in vain, as we are more than ever ready to give you all support needed for you to do more. We must continue to invest in education, especially in research, to ensure that our graduates remain competitive.
Governor Bala Mohammed, who was represented by his deputy, said his administration will absorb the first-class graduates medicine to address the shortage of medical doctors in the healthcare system in the state. Speaking, the Vice-Chancellor of the university, Professor Ahmed Abdulaziz, said the welfare of staff should be the priority of government, as that will motivate them to impart knowledge to students.
I do not doubt that the present administration will stop at nothing to ensure that all university staff are comfortable with government policies and action for them to give their best for the gain of the system.
Overall best performing students from the Faculty of Medicine says teamwork is key for successful.
I have a very top team. We call it Oguntu Oguntu. In my class, the pioneers of ATBU, being 25, for the first time in history of medicine, graduating the whole 25 as a whole, and that is because of the teamwork. I'm proud of my class. I didn't make it alone.
By the lecturers and the tutors, they should also read very well. They should also read with their colleagues in group. They should also pray very well. As the secret of prayer is that anytime I prayed well, most of the questions that I will be asked during the exam, I've already read them all. And there are some questions that I read them immediately when I enter is the question that I will be asked. And praying is very, very important. And also hardworking.
Some notable Nigerians were awarded honorary doctorate degrees for their contributions to the education sector. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
And amidst the pervasive narrative of hardship, individuals with disabilities often find themselves relegated to the margins, navigating the streets in search of sustenance. Yet, against formidable odds, a select few defy the constraints of their circumstances to carve out paths of success. In this report, Hassan Kohli tells the story of Abubakar Yusuf, who has become the epitome of resilience and determination. Take a look.
Meet Abubakar Yusuf, a master craftsman who dedicated over 2 decades in perfecting his artistry within the bustling Gombe main market. Despite facing the challenges of disability, Abubakar remained steadfast in his conviction that begging was not the path to a fulfilling life. Instead, he poured his passion and skill into his craft, transforming worn-out shoes. I have been crafting shoes and balls for at least 22 years now. During this period, I got married, shouldered the responsibility of raising my children, and I gained everything from this craft. In fact, this is my life. Abubakar's concern weighs heavily on his heart as he observes his trained apprentices grappling with a significant barrier to fully utilizing their acquired skills. The inability to afford essential working tools, while their potential remains untapped. Abubakar's dedication to empowering others persists, driving him to seek solutions and opportunities for his apprentices to overcome this hurdle and unlock their true potential. I am currently facing challenges due to the recent rise in the price of our raw materials. Customers are expressing dissatisfaction with the increased cost of our services, prompting us to make adjustments. However, my primary concern lies with our trained employees who lack the means to acquire tools or rent spaces to initiate their own ventures. Consequently, I urge the government and affluent individuals to support their endeavors, as their success will ultimately benefit us all. Optimism fuels Abubakar's vision for a brighter future, one where the collaboration between government initiatives and the generosity of affluent individuals paves the way for millions of youth to break free from the cycle of unemployment and dependency on government jobs. With strategic support and investment, Abubakar envisions a landscape where opportunities abound, empowering the youth to harness their potential, contribute meaningfully to society, and forge their own path to success. Hassan Kohli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
The Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde, on Saturday shut down a facility being used by suspected illegal miners to process and package lithium out of the state. The governor, according to his chief press secretary, Suleiman Olariwaju, ordered the closure of the facility, which was originally a factory meant for recycling batteries and tires. He equally ordered the arrest of 4 persons suspected to be operating at the site, noting that they operated against the approved license secured from the government for business operations in the state. Take a look.
Taking proactive measure, Governor Seyi Makinde, while inspecting the factory, along with some security heads in the state, says the closure is in line with the state executive order on illegal mining. He added that activities in the factory is against the permit issued to them by the government.
This place, according to records available to us, was meant to be a yard for recycled tires and batteries. But coming in here, you can see that the operation, there's no single battery or a single tire here. So they are mining, they are crushing lithium here.
The governor assures continuing collaboration with the federal government in addressing constitutional challenges associated with activities of mining in the state in the interest of the public. Reacting, The State Command, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, stated that the command arrested 10 suspected illegal miners last week.
The State Command hereby urges members of the public to be vigilant, more security conscious, and provide useful information to NSCDC and other security agencies.
Meanwhile, some of the suspects said they were arrested for the offense they didn't commit, insisting that each of them was licensed for operation by Oyo State government.
All the evidence is there with me. I have submitted it. Why they pardon me for it's very sad. I'm in construction. I'm a builder. So the money that if I get money on construction, I will use money. I will apply money on mining. It's very sad to be telling me that I'm doing illegal mining. I'm not illegal mining.
The state government called for collaboration with stakeholders and the general public to reduce illegal mining in the state.
Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have begun to unmask members of an organized criminal network behind the recent importation of 2 containers laden with illicit drugs as well as assorted arms and ammunition from Durban, South Africa to the Tinkan seaport in Lagos. Among those already arrested as members of the syndicate are a clearing and notified party of the 2 containers, Falo Samuel Kayode, a dock worker, and Johnny Idowu and Uzeiru Ahmed Iguda, who is in charge of the 5-star terminal at the port. A statement by the Director of Media and Advocacy of NDLEA, Femi Babafemi, said the latest seizure brings the total items recovered from the 2 containers to 56.39 kilograms of cocaine and 987.9 kilograms of Colorado, with a combined weight of 1,044.29 kilograms. In Edo State, the NDLEA officers on Tuesday, 20th February, raided a drug joint on the power line off Etete Road, GRA, Benin City, where they arrested a salesgirl, Jessica Destiny, and recovered assorted illicit drugs. A follow-up operation the following day led to the arrest of the owner of the joint, Ibrahim Sani, who is the commander, Arewa Association of Vigilantes in the area, while a consignment weighing 179 kilograms of cannabis was recovered by operatives at Badagry Waterside, Lagos on Wednesday, 21st February. A 67-year-old grandpa, Rafiu Ogunro, was nabbed on Thursday, 22nd February at Magbon, Ogun State, with 57 kilograms of cannabis, 2,700 pills of tramadol, and 231 bottles of codeine syrup, weighing 2.31 liters. And the Nigerian Navy Forward Operation Base Ibaka in Akwa Ibom has arrested 2 suspects and impounded their wooden boat laden with 5,100 liters of petrol. The commanding officer of the base, Navy Captain Uche Aneke, had handed over the suspects, the boat and the petrol to the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps in Ibaka on Sunday. Aneke said a patrol team of the Navy arrested the suspects on February following an intelligence report about suspected smuggling activities in the area. Aneke warned individuals and groups involved in the illegal business to desist or prepare to face the wrath of the law. Still in the news, at least 1 person has been killed in Degema local government area of Rivers State following a clash between rival groups on Friday evening. Reports said trouble started when a group of people carrying the corpse of late Madame Rhoda Abe, a native of the community, in a casket for burial, were attacked by a group suspected of being the foot soldiers of an ex-militant warlord in the area. Confirming the incident on Sunday via a WhatsApp voice note, the spokesperson of the Rivers State Police Command, Grace Iringe Koko, said the command is aware of the incident that occurred in Degema community. She said monitoring continued as CP has deployed adequate security to the community to ensure there is no breakdown of law and order. The police are, however, said to be silent on the list obtained from the community, claiming to show names of people who are either missing or dead as a result of the incident. For some time now, the dirt in the streets and drainages have continued to generate some form of health hazard. Hence, the need for a collective approach to halt any impending disaster. To control this, residents of Imo State are advocating constant periodic cleaning of the environment as the best solution to eradicate any forms of diseases in the state. Trust TV's Ajibade Praise tells us more in this report.
The residents in their numbers are not holding back in their unanimous decision to achieve a clean, safe and secured environment. A feat this expert in waste management, Mr. Cyril Njoku, who is also the boss of the Imo State Waste Management Agency company, ISWAMAC, said will be achieved through the concerted effort of all the residents. A lawmaker and notable leader in the state, Chisom Njoku, leading by example, took part in the exercise. They assures of a sustained and intense contribution towards achieving the desired goal.
As long as our last in Imo State cleanup exercise has come to stay, it will be every last Saturday of the month. And then we can also have mini cleanup exercise depending on where we find not good for us. For example, last time we did it at Douglas, the whole of Douglas. We shut the whole of Douglas down and then we cleaned up Douglas. You can see today how Douglas is. And then we also want to replicate that maybe in some other streets. So depending on where we find dirty, we also do the same thing. But for the general cleanup, very soon we're going to bring in everybody and every city in the state, not just Owerri municipal. But for now, we want to test run and start from Owerri municipal. But it has come to stay.
You can see that everywhere is very clean. You can see me, I have my own broom and my packer. Yes. I've been busy sweeping everywhere. Yes. Nobody's seeing it. That is our job. We must lead by example. Yes. That's why we're here.
On the issues of others who are yet to key into the innovation, the ISWAMAC boss is calling on all and sundry in the state to put in their best for the well-being of the state.
Started monitoring this cleanup from 7 o'clock till the end, until now. So the turn-up was good, 80%. I can say is a success. But by the next time we're going to do it, I am quite sure that we're going to record 100% attendance or 100% appearance for everyone. A lot of people were complaining that they didn't hear from the radio, but I'm promising that by the next cleanup, in fact, we're going to start from the first week of March to start announcing for.
While the state look forward to a cleaner and safer environment, residents are encouraged to stop the indiscriminate disposing of waste in their environment. Ajibade Praise, Trust TV News, Owerri.
There you have it, Ajibade from Imo State. And to other stories, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has filed a lawsuit against Nigeria's governors and the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, Nyesom Wike, over their failure to account for the alleged missing 40 trillion naira federal allocations meant for local governments in the states and the FCT. According to a statement on Sunday by SERAP's Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadari, the suit followed the damning revelations by former President Muhammadu Buhari, who in December 2022 stated that if the money from the Federation account to the state is about 100 million, 50 million will be sent to the chairman, but will sign that they received 100 million. The rights group is asking the court to direct and compel the governors to publish details of local government area allocations and actual disbursement of the allocations to local governments in their respective states from 1999 to date. As you're watching the News Hour on Trust TV, more news after the break. Join us again. Welcome back, and moving on to other news. Qatar has made a U-turn on its decision not to host the Business and Investment Forum proposed by President Bola Tinubu during his visit slated for March 2nd, 2024 to the Arabian country. This followed a leaked memo on Saturday which showed that Qatar declined the proposed investment forum, citing the unavailability of the country's Minister of Commerce and Industry, Mohammed bin Hamad Al Thani. Also, the Embassy of Qatar in Abuja had said there is no agreement between the Arabian country and Nigeria regarding the investment forum. However, Qatar has made a U-turn on the decision, noting that the business forum will now be held as proposed by Nigeria. And away from Nigeria, amid dire food shortages, hundreds of Palestinians fled northern Gaza on Sunday as Israel's war on Gaza persisted, despite ongoing efforts towards a ceasefire and a hostage release agreement. Israeli forces continued to target locations across Palestinian territory while engaging in intense urban warfare against Hamas militants in Khan Yunis, located in the south. The army reported that troops successfully neutralized several terrorists and seized weapons, including those hidden among civilian populations. In the far southern Rafah region, near the main battlefront, 1.4 million Palestinians braced for a potential ground invasion, fearing further civilian casualties. Negotiations have been ongoing for weeks with the aim of securing a temporary truce facilitating the exchange of hostages held by Hamas for Palestinian prisoners in Israeli custody and increasing aid deliveries. U.S., Arabs and other mediators expressed optimism that an agreement could be reached before the start of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan, either on March 10th or 11th, depending on the lunar calendar. And in sports, Virgil van Dijk's header deep into extra time gave an understrength Liverpool a remarkable Carabao Cup final win over Chelsea at Wembley. Van Dijk's header was earlier ruled out for offside on the hour, with no reprieve for Chelsea when he glanced home another from Kostas Tsimikas' corner in the 118th minute. Liverpool's 10th triumph in the competition was achieved without Mohamed Salah, Darwin Núñez and Diogo Jota. The victory means Jurgen Klopp's side have achieved the first part of a potential quadruple in the manager's farewell season, a bitter blow to Chelsea and manager Mauricio Pochettino. Chelsea have now lost 6 successive Wembley finals, including 3 against Liverpool. And just before we go, here's a kicker. Wood carving is one of the ways we get artifacts to decorate our homes or tell about our culture and history. Well, Emmanuel Osifo is a carver based in Edo State, Nigeria, and he gives us more insight into the art of business.
I'm Emmanuel Osifo. Name of my store is Mao Carving Depot. I've been in the carving business just since 1987. My family, they are from carver. They are carver. The apprentice I had has finished. I've done his freedom. He's now working on his own. Son had traveled out. So presently now, I don't have any as present. If anyone want to learn, I will bring him form. I will give him form to fill. He will fill form all the requirement I want from him. Then we bring it. Then so far he's serious in learning it. If he want to learn, he should be serious. I love the art because I love anything you can create, especially if it's create with wood. I have passion on it. I love it. Machine cannot carve wood for you, but because it's hand and chisel we use I use in learning chisel. Because if you use all these machine tools, the machines can't give you what you want. Can't give you what you want. That is why we are different from the white men, carving. That's why our own is unique. Oh, there are different prices, so you know. Can charge you 10 naira if you say you have 3 naira. If I'm willing to do it, I do it for you. No, I cannot say this is your specific price. I'm using it, doing that for you. Where we got our wood is from sometimes in the sawmill. You go to sawmill, or you go to all those women that is bringing wood from the bush, like all those one that is bringing all those timber work, all those short timber work from bush. The charges the government is collecting from them is much higher. But we, the carvers, we are carving them, but no support, nothing. We know through them, government is still collecting that from that one, or sustaining from us through that level, through that work we carve. When customers buy, when they are traveling, taking it out, they always subcharge them. That is the complaint they always give. Assuming it's government that owns everything. If they subcharge like 50,000, 200,000, any amount, we don't have any say to say no.
And that wraps up the news hour on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all of our social platforms and catch our live stream on YouTube for more news programs and documentaries. I'm Sakir Ibrahim. Have a good night.